Sonny, can I join you here? Thank you. Hi, I'm Carol the Coach, aka Carol Jurgensen Sheets, and I'm here to talk to you about the 6 basic needs that you need to meet and balance to keep your life in perspective. Now, we all need people to support us, and we need things, people, animals that love us unconditionally. However, we have to be able to love ourselves and balance our lives in such a way that we can lead meaningful lives. So let's look at those 6 areas for a second. We're going to be talking about the physical, the intellectual, the social, the emotional, the spiritual, and the purposeful needs. Let's start with the easiest, and maybe that's not the easiest for you. Your physical needs. Do you balance your physical needs? Do you get enough rest? Are you taking your vitamins? Are you exercising? Let's face it, if you're not taking care of yourself physically, it's very hard to intellectually, socially, and purposefully make your life different. So what has been tugging at your heartstrings that you need to change? And what, pray tell, would you say you're doing an excellent job with? You know, if you're 30 pounds overweight, it's time to take a look at that. And there is no doubt that you need to be motivated to change, which may mean to psych yourself out. You know, I've been wanting to lose about 20 pounds. And I've been going to a fitness trainer for over a year and a half. Actually, I've been doing fitness training for over 10 years. I've got a great bicep, but at the same time, I've got a belly. And so what I have needed to do is to get psyched. But I'm one of those people that clearly says to myself, I'm going to start the perpetual diet, and then I don't. So what I've been doing is I've been reading a lot about different lifestyles that can support me. Last week it was Sugar Busters. This week it's the South Beach diet. And what I know to be true is that information is power. And at some point I just believe that it's going to psych me into getting started. So I don't beat myself up for not wanting to start, but I also create an infrastructure that supports that. So how do you address your physical needs? And what might you do a bit differently to tweak them and make your life better? Now, emotional needs. If you've seen my videos, you know that there are 5 primary feelings, and each one of those are neither right nor wrong, they just are. Those 5 primary feelings are anger, sadness, loneliness, fear, and happiness. Now, do you embrace each one of those? Do you accept them about yourself? And do you channel them in important and helpful ways? If I'm angry, I talk to somebody and I assert myself. Or I look at a situation and I say, you know what? I'm going to do it differently. I am going to make my life different by looking at finding another way to motivate myself at work. You know, if I'm not happy with something, I go, what can I do to change that? And so I use that anger or that sadness as a catapult for making my life different. So are you aware of those 5 feelings? And could you check in with yourself each day and say, well, my primary feeling today that I had was sadness. Or my primary feeling today that I had was fear. Nervousness and anxiety fall under that umbrella of fear. It's important for you to do that. And I work with so many clients who say, you know, Carol, I feel all those feelings at one point. At one time, I'm flooded by those feelings. Well, if you are, do your best to pick out the primary feeling, because that feeling will then help, as I said, give you the momentum to make the changes you need. It's always helpful to journal about your feelings. So give that a thought as you're identifying and honoring your emotional needs. The 3rd need is intellectual. I'm a big believer in that we can always learn. I'm always getting another certification or reading. I read every morning for at least 45 minutes, preferably an hour. I truly believe when I exercise, if I listen to an iPod that has a podcast that can help me to learn, I'll be a better person for it. What do you do to intellectually challenge yourself? Are you a reader? Do you do crossword puzzles? How about Sudoku? What is it that you do that stimulates the brain? If you say, well, I watch TV, I might have to challenge you on that, because unless you're doing the discovery and the learning channels, you're probably vegging out by watching TV. So take a look at what stimulates you intellectually and go for upping your game. Now let's look at your social life. I am a big believer in having a social network that supports me. A family of choice, if you will. Both my parents are dead, and so I have people in my life that act as my parents that I can go to. I work on developing mentors as much as I can, people that I can actually call and say, I'm really stuck, I need your help, I want your support. There I'm honoring my emotional needs, and I'm creating and designing my social network the way I want to. Now, I'm not a big person on Facebook or Twitter. I might learn that a little bit more dutifully. But at the same time, I am a big believer in spending time with friends and family. I've got my girlfriends coming today to the lake, co-workers, because we don't spend enough time laughing at work. So they're coming here, and we're going to bond. Now, I know you may say, oh, I don't have enough time, I'm running the kids around, I've got the grandkids, I work 2 jobs. But if you're not taking care of that need, then you're not filling yourself full of the things that you need to make your life better. Speaking of making your life better, what do you do for your spiritual needs? You know, I'm outside right now on a 70-degree day looking at the beauty of nature. That is spiritual. I attend a church that fills me, where I can participate, teach the 5 languages of love. That inspires me. I'm a pretty good person, but I need constant feedback and encouragement to be a better person. Because I, like most people, have that tendency to want to slack in that department. So what are you doing to fill your spiritual needs? That's so important. If you're going to feel connected to a higher power, to something bigger than yourself, to make your life different. And last but not least, that leads to a purposeful need. What are you doing to create a legacy in your life? What are you doing that will make a difference in this world today, tomorrow, and for infinity? Now, I know that sounds like a big thing, but you know what? If you're smiling at kids, well, then you're imprinting in them a feeling of unconditional love, and every child needs that. It doesn't have to be that you are the President of the United States. It can be something small. You know, could you start a blog and encourage mothers to take care of themselves? Could you write an article and send it to your friends on how to build a better business? Might you be able to think of 3 things that you do that make a difference at your work and send that to your boss? I mean, it may be very, very little to you, but it will have that domino effect of making a difference in the world. Now, I believe, as I said earlier, that something is tugging at your heartstrings to leave that imprint in this life. And I want you to write it down right now and honor yourself by figuring out how you're going to make that happen this week. It's all about taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of others and serving. I mean, that is the utmost in spirituality. So I am Carol the Coach. I thank you for this valuable time of yours. And I want to ask you, what might you do to take care of yourself? And go visit my website, www.carolthecoach.com. If you register on the homepage for my article, How to Balance Your Needs, we'll immediately send that to you with no other obligations. I want to make your life better. That's my mission. That's why I'm Carol the Coach. Again, I thank you for your time.